The emptiness in my studio wasn't just quiet, it was palpable, a weight pressing down. 4 months of unpaid rent had exhausted my options. Then came the tap at my door from Miss Rivera, property manager, a woman whose eyes lingered uncomfortably, making me uneasy. She wanted more than just payment. She presented a proposition I instinctively knew to reject, but necessity that clever persuader suggested otherwise. I didn't refuse. The sudden knock made me jump. My thin bathrobe provided little protection as I clutched it closer. I answered to find Miss Rivera's calculating gaze. "Eliza," she stated, her tone cool and detached. "You're 4 months behind." I pulled the robe tighter, a useless gesture. "I know, Miss Rivera. I just need a little more time." She entered uninvited, and my small apartment seemed to shrink around her presence. "It's unfortunate," she murmured, her stare unwavering, "to see someone with your qualities struggling so severely." Her voice was smooth yet unyielding. "So talented and seemingly so helpless." Heat rose to my face. "I'll find a solution," she sighed deliberately. "Time, my dear, doesn't settle outstanding debts." I had tried everything: grueling extra work hours, unsuccessful borrowing attempts, painfully selling treasured possessions. Nothing had been sufficient. "Please," I whispered, nearly defeated. "Just a little longer." She examined me, something unidentifiable flickering in her expression. "Or perhaps there's another form of payment." My stomach tightened as the unspoken became explicit. "What are you suggesting?" "Come now, Eliza," she chided softly. "You're an intelligent woman." The room suddenly felt warmer, my thin robe offering no comfort. "No one else need know," she said, voice dropping conspiratorially. "This remains between us." My heart raced frantically. She smirked slightly, evidently enjoying my discomfort. "I have the means to make your financial troubles vanish." A ragged breath escaped me. There were no alternatives, no other lifelines, only her and the terrible arrangement she proposed. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, I gave a single resigned nod. Her smile deepened, triumphant. She reached for the tie of my robe, a wise choice. "My dear Miss Rivera," guided me toward the bedroom, her grip on my arm firm yet unhurried. The air felt thick, charged with unspoken energy. Her perfume, a rich, sophisticated scent mixed with something primal, overwhelmed my senses. She didn't hesitate. Standing near the bed's edge, deliberately unfastening her belt, the soft metal sound echoing in the oppressive silence. "I trust you understand what's expected, Eliza." An icy lump formed in my throat. I hesitated, hands tightening into fists, her lips curved into something not quite a smile. "No need for surprise, Eliza. An agreement is an agreement." A strange, nervous warmth began to unfurl within me. I swallowed hard, then, as if entranced, lowered myself. Her fingers wove through my hair as I leaned forward, her warmth and scent suddenly overwhelming. With hesitant precision, I pressed my lips against her. She exhaled sharply, fingers tightening slightly in my hair, a subtle guiding pressure. The soft sounds she made sent an unexpected, forbidden thrill through me. I knew I shouldn't feel it, this treacherous response, but I did. Her breathing deepened, posture tensed. She was losing herself in the moment in me. A strange, fleeting sense of power flickered amid my confusion. Just as I found an unsettling rhythm, she pulled away abruptly, breathing ragged, composure visibly strained, barely containing herself. "Get on top," she rasped, voice thick with urgent need. I obeyed, rising and moving onto the bed, my robe falling completely open as I straddled her. Her hands immediately found my thighs, sliding upward, squeezing as if memorizing every contour. "That's it," she murmured, eyes dark and intense, locked on mine. I reached down, aligning myself with her, a sharp, involuntary gasp escaping as I settled against her. She groaned, fingers pressing into my hips. "You feel better than I imagined." I tried, ignoring the betraying warmth spreading through me at her words. This was a transaction, nothing more. But as I began to move, an undeniable pulse of pleasure rippled through my unwilling body. My flesh was treasonous, responding with an eagerness that horrified me. I bit my lip, struggling to maintain neutrality, but inside, a slow, insistent heat coiled with every motion. "Go on, Eliza," she urged, voice strained. "Move as if you mean it." Her grip was firm, guiding me. I complied, pace quickening, my breathing becoming shallow and uneven. Each movement sent another wave of illicit sensation through me, making it increasingly difficult to pretend I wasn't experiencing this. She smirked up at me, seemingly seeing through my act. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" "No," I lied, breath hitching betrayingly as I moved faster. Her grip tightened, her body rising to meet mine in perfect rhythm, the tension between us building, growing deeper, heavier. I clenched my jaw, desperate to suppress any sound that might reveal my body's response. "Keep going," she growled, her own control slipping, eyes never leaving mine, reading every movement, every unspoken reaction. I dug my nails into her chest, holding on as powerful pleasure built inside me, threatening to overflow. Her breath hitched, body tensing beneath me, and then with a final shuddering exhalation, her hands locked me in place as she reached her peak. I followed seconds later, my body trembling from the unexpected intensity, but I swallowed my sounds, keeping my expression unreadable as I collapsed onto her, body still humming with aftershocks. For a moment we just lay there, breathing heavily, skin damp with warmth. Then slowly I moved off her, sitting at the bed's edge. "I didn't speak there," was nothing to say, but deep down I knew the truth. I had, against all reason, enjoyed every second, and so clearly had she. I sat at the bed's edge, pulling my robe around me, though it did little to cover what had already been exposed. My skin still tingled, my breath still unsteady. I felt her eyes on me, watching, waiting. "You surprised me, Eliza." Her voice was smooth again, amused. "I didn't expect you to enjoy yourself quite that much." A flicker of heat in my stomach. I ignored it. "It was just a deal," I murmured. She chuckled. "Certainly, if that's what you need to believe." Silence stretched between us. I should have felt consumed by shame, but I didn't, not entirely. A part of me had undeniably liked it more than I wanted to admit. "I have another proposition for you," she said then. I glanced at her. "What do you mean?" She leaned against the headboard, her shirt still open, her expression unreadable. "You enjoyed this." "I know you did. And there are people, discerning people, who would pay good money for someone like you." I stiffened. "You're joking." "Not in the slightest." She watched me closely. "You said your options were exhausted, but they don't have to be. You could turn this aptitude into something lucrative." My breath caught. "That's different." This was just, I stopped, lacking words. "Just what?" Her smirk deepened. "Just a favor? Just for fun?" I turned away, mind racing. I should have been disgusted, but I wasn't, because she was right. I had enjoyed it. And now, the thought of doing it again, of being wanted, of being in control, of making something from nothing, didn't seem so impossible. "It's your choice, of course," she said, standing, buttoning her shirt. "You don't have to agree. But if you do, I know 2 clients who would pay very well for an evening with you." A chill ran through me. "Not just 1, 2. I swallowed hard. It should have been an easy refusal, but it wasn't. "How much?" Her smirk widened. "More than you've earned in a single night your entire life." I exhaled slowly, pulse hammering in my ears. 1 night, 2 people, a choice that could change everything. I lifted my chin and nodded once. "All right, Miss." Rivera grinned, reaching for her phone. "Good girl. I'll make the call." The next evening I stood before the mirror, smoothing a new dress over my hips. It was tight, low-cut, revealing just enough. Miss Rivera had selected it herself, along with heels that made my legs look longer than I remembered. I barely recognized the woman staring back. My hands trembled slightly as I adjusted my hair. Why was I nervous? I had already made my choice. There was no turning back now. "You look perfect," Miss Rivera murmured from the doorway. Her eyes roamed over me, slow and approving. "They'll love you." I swallowed hard, exhaling through my nose. Who are they? Associates, she smirked. Generous ones. You give them a good night, Eliza, and you'll never worry about rent again. A knock at the door. My breath caught. They were here. Miss Rivera's smirk deepened. Showtime, darling. I turned toward the door, heart pounding as I reached for the handle. And then I opened it. Two people stood there, eyes dark, expressions unreadable. And they were here for me. I led them into the room, pulse pounding, each step weighted with anticipation. My heels tapped softly against the floor, the air charged with unspoken energy. They followed closely, their presence surrounding me. Two sets of eyes, two people whose attention was solely on me. I had agreed to this. A part of me strangely wanted this. But still, something inside me twisted, a flicker of hesitation, a spark of excitement. The taller one, broad-shouldered and confident, was first to reach for me. Their touch landed at my waist, firm, deliberate, fingertips pressing lightly as though committing every curve to memory. The other, leaner, sharp-eyed, quiet but intensely observant, lingered just behind, their breath warm against my shoulders, sending an unexpected ripple down my spine. Let's take care of this, the first murmured, fingers brushing over my dress strap, teasing the fabric while meeting my gaze. Slowly, layers slipped away, fabric falling with ease. Hands followed, exploring, learning, appreciating as cool air kissed my skin. I reached forward in turn, fingertips tracing firm lines beneath. Their clothes, my touch testing their response. Their eyes never left me, watching, waiting. A slow exhale left my lips. There was no hesitation. I wanted to give them exactly what they were waiting for. I moved with careful intention, fingers working through belt closures, undoing each at a measured pace, feeling the coiled tension beneath the layers between us. Their breathing deepened, muscles shifting as I explored, warmth radiating against my touch. A quiet sound escaped the first, a deep note of appreciation as they tilted my chin upward, meeting my gaze with something unreadable. Just like that, they murmured, voice smooth-edged with something darker. A familiar heat curled through me, something both exhilarating and dangerous in the way they watched me. I bent, movements deliberate, lowering myself, fingers still wrapped around them both, warmth pressing against my skin. One hovered near my lips, a silent invitation awaiting my decision. I leaned in, welcoming, tasting heat, tracing shapes with deliberate care. Above me, they inhaled sharply, fingers weaving through my hair, guiding with the lightest touch. The second wasn't forgotten. My other hand worked with just as much attention, teasing, drawing out each reaction. Their breath hitched, fingers brushing the curve of my jaw as they studied me, absorbed in every moment. Their combined presence, the quiet sounds they made, the tension winding through the space between us, it sent a slow, deep warmth spreading through my stomach. That's it, one murmured, voice thick, heavy with satisfaction. Just like that, the words sent another rush through me. They let me move at my own pace, letting me explore, letting me lose myself in them. Then one shifted back slightly, clearing their throat as though regaining focus. Come here, they said, voice low, steady. We're just getting started. I settled onto the mattress, breath uneven, body throbbing with anticipation. The taller one positioned between my legs, fingertips drawing slow, deliberate circles along my inner thighs, teasing, heightening tension. The other moved beside me, hand finding my chin, tilting my face toward them, gaze locking onto mine with quiet intensity. Let's see just how sweet you are, the first murmured, voice deep, laced with amusement. Then they lowered themselves, breath warm against my skin before the first flicker of sensation sent a shudder through me. A sharp gasp caught in my throat as their lips explored, touch slow, patient, deliberate. My fingers curled against the sheets, gripping them as each movement sent another ripple of sensation through me. The second leaned in, mouth brushing against mine before deepening the kiss, lips parting against mine. I welcomed them, letting their warmth consume me, muffling sounds escaping my throat as pleasure built between us. They moved in perfect rhythm, one unraveling me with their mouth, the other drawing me deeper into kisses, fingers threading through my hair, keeping me close. "She's incredible," one murmured, voice laced with admiration. I should have felt nervous. I should have hesitated, but I didn't. I wanted more, and they could see it. They moved me effortlessly, guiding, shifting me into position as if they already knew what I needed. Now I was on all fours, body still trembling, still buzzing from their touch. The second, who had been watching, waiting, patient until now, moved behind me, hands steady on my waist, grounding me. "Ready for more?" they asked, voice low, knowing. I barely had time to respond before they pressed forward, a slow, measured pressure sending deep, unrelenting warmth spiraling through me. My breath hitched, fingers tightening against the sheets as my body adjusted. They groaned softly, grip securing me in place, movement steady, deliberate, as if savoring every moment. The first moved in front, fingers skimming my jaw, coaxing my gaze upward. "Let me feel you," they murmured. I parted my lips, welcoming them, the heat against me, the steady rhythm of their breath mixing with mine. "Just like that," they whispered, thumb brushing along my cheek, fingers tangling in my hair. They moved together, each guiding me, their rhythms syncing, one keeping my body steady, the other keeping my focus locked on them. A quiet moan escaped my throat, vibrations making the one in front inhale sharply, fingers flexing against my skin. Behind me, the second shifted pace, becoming fluid, drawing another gasp from me as warmth pooled deep within. "You love this, don't you?" one murmured, voice teasing, knowing. I whimpered softly, my body betraying me, truth evident in every movement, every sound. I did. I loved every second. They weren't finished. They moved me again, lifting, shifting me seamlessly into a new position, guiding me exactly where they wanted. Now I was atop the first, their hands firm on my hips, grounding me. Their gaze met mine, satisfaction playing across their lips. "Let me see how much you want this," they murmured, grip tightening just enough to steady me. A slow breath escaped as I sank onto them, deep warmth building inside me, the stretch sending another shudder down my spine. Their head fell back against pillows, a quiet groan slipping from their lips as I moved against them. But behind me, the second wasn't done. I felt their touch first, teasing, testing, fingers exploring the curve of my back, waiting for my reaction. A sharp breath left me, warmth curling through my stomach, hesitation met with deeper want. They leaned forward, breath hot against my ear. "Take your time," they murmured. "I'll guide you," I exhaled, body tensing, adjusting, a slow, gradual acceptance as they pressed forward. The heat between us intensified, the moments stretching, bodies sinking in perfect rhythm. "That's it," one groaned. Just like that, I wasn't sure who spoke. I was too lost, too overwhelmed by how they moved with me, their touch, their breath, their bodies keeping pace with mine. They worked in tandem, one steadying my hips, the other pressing closer, movements precise, controlled. The pressure built, slowly, spreading through me in waves, my breath coming faster as sensation coiled tighter and tighter. "You're incredible," one murmured, voice reverent, filled with something raw. "Look at her," the other whispered, fingers skimming my spine, making me shudder. Completely lost in it, I was. I couldn't hold back anymore. The tension inside coiled to its peak, a final deep pull that unraveled me completely, warmth crashing through my body in waves. Then a sharp inhale from beneath me, fingers pressing into my skin, their body tensing as rhythm faltered. A low groan behind me, their grip steadying me as they let go, following right after. The moment stretched, breathless and infinite, before fading into warmth. The room settled into silence, the only sound our slowing breaths. In the quiet aftermath, a new understanding began to dawn. I had never expected to enjoy it, never expected to want more. But life, in its brutal way, had stripped away my pretenses, forcing an awakening I hadn't sought but could no longer deny. It wasn't about right or wrong, but about confronting the complex, often contradictory truths within oneself when pushed to absolute limits. This path wasn't chosen, but it was mine, and on it, I began to glimpse a strength and resilience I never knew I possessed.